You don't usually arrive in a city like this. Most cruise ships stop at the edge of a place. You dock somewhere near the open sea, step off, and then the city becomes something you still have to go and find. It waits beyond the port, somewhere inland, like a destination you need to unlock step by step. But today, that whole idea changes, because right now, we're not at the coast. We're already inside the country. Sailing inland through southern Spain, following a river that has quietly shaped centuries of history, trade, and movement. This is Seville, and what makes this experience so unusual isn't just where we're going, it's how we're getting there, because instead of arriving all at once, Seville reveals itself slowly, layer by layer, as if the city is deciding how much it wants to show you at a time. And the more you pay attention, the more you realize this arrival isn't just a journey, it's an introduction. Guadalquivir River, and this river is the reason this entire experience exists. It stretches nearly 80 kilometers inland from the Atlantic Ocean, making Seville one of the only major cities in Spain that a cruise ship can reach directly. That's about 50 miles of water guiding you toward the heart of Andalusia. And what makes that distance so important is not just how far it goes, but how slowly it allows you to experience it. Because nothing about this journey feels rushed. There's no dramatic entrance, no sudden skyline reveal. Instead, everything unfolds gradually. The riverbanks begin wide and open, then slowly narrow. Fields stretch out quietly on both sides. Trees line the edges like they've been there for generations. And scattered along the way are small houses that feel permanent, like they've watched this river change over time.
At one point, I genuinely forgot we were on a cruise ship. It didn't feel like travel anymore. It felt like we were just drifting through someone else's everyday life.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so different. You're not passing the landscape, you're part of it. You're moving through it at a pace that lets you notice things. The way the light changes, the way the water reflects the sky, the way everything feels calm, even though you're moving forward. And there's something about that pace that changes your mindset. You stop thinking about getting there, and you start appreciating the fact that you're already here. And then you start thinking about what this river used to be. Because as peaceful as it feels now, it wasn't always like this. In the 16th century, this was one of the most important trade routes in the world. Ships arrived here from the Americas carrying wealth that would reshape Europe. Silver from Peru, gold from across the Atlantic, spices, textiles, and materials that people in Europe had never seen before. And here's what made Seville so powerful. For a time, it held exclusive control over trade with the New World. If you wanted to bring goods from the Americas into Spain, you had to come through here. No alternatives, no competition. Just this river. So imagine what this looked like back then. Ships lining the banks, merchants negotiating deals, workers unloading cargo, voices, movement, urgency, the entire system of global trade passing through this single waterway. And now, centuries later, you're standing here watching that same river flow quietly past farmland and trees.
It's strange to think something this calm used to be so intense.
It really is, and that contrast is part of what makes this arrival so powerful. You're seeing both versions at once, the past and the present, layered on top of each other. Then slowly, things begin to change. The river narrows slightly, the banks become more structured, bridges begin to appear, and in the distance, the skyline rises. Church towers, historic rooftops, warm tones catching the sunlight, and there's no clear moment where someone says, "We've arrived." Because Seville doesn't work like that. You don't arrive to it, you ease into it, and before you realize it, you're already inside the city. Stepping off the ship, the first thing you notice isn't a landmark, it's the feeling. The pace is slower, the air feels warmer, the city doesn't try to overwhelm you. It doesn't compete for your attention. Instead, it lets you settle into it.
It feels like the city already knows what it is, so it doesn't need to prove anything.
Exactly, and because of that, you experience it differently. You don't rush, you don't chase, you just move and let the city reveal itself. Just across the river sits Triana, and crossing into it feels like stepping into a different version of Seville. Historically, this was the neighborhood of craftsmen, sailors, and artists. The people who built things, the people who created, the people who shaped the identity of the city behind the scenes. And even today, that energy is still here. It feels grounded, real, authentic. Not polished for visitors, but lived in by locals. Triana is known for ceramics, and once you notice them, they're everywhere. Tiles covering walls, decorating benches, framing doorways, adding color to spaces that would otherwise feel plain.
It's like the city decided blank walls were just not an option.
Exactly. And what makes them special is not just how they look, it's how they're made. Inside the Triana Ceramic Museum, you see the full process: clay shaped by hand, patterns painted carefully, kilns firing everything at high heat, each tile going through multiple stages before it becomes part of the city. And when you see that, you realize something. These aren't just decorations, they're craftsmanship. And here's the part most people don't think about. Many of these tiles were designed to last generations. So the work someone did hundreds of years ago is still part of the city today. And these tiles weren't just decorative, they told stories, religious scenes, historical moments, everyday life. So walking through Seville is a bit like walking through a visual archive. The walls themselves carry memory. Then the energy shifts again. You step into the Mercado de Triana, and suddenly everything feels alive. The sounds, the smells, the movement, people buying food, talking, laughing.
This is where I stop observing and start looking for something to eat.
Completely fair, because this is real daily life. Not staged, not curated, just people doing what they've always done. But here's what makes this place unique. Beneath the market are the remains of an old fortress, visible through glass panels in the floor, stone walls that have been here for centuries. And above them, life continues. That's Seville. It doesn't separate its past, it builds on top of it. And then the city surprises you again, because rising above everything is something completely unexpected. The Metropole Parasol, the largest wooden structure in the world.
Also known as the mushrooms, which feels very accurate.
Very accurate. And what makes it fascinating is the contrast. Modern design, historic surroundings, and instead of clashing, they complement each other. From the top, everything connects: the rooftops, the cathedral, the river, and suddenly, the city makes sense as a whole. As the sun begins to set, the city softens, the light changes, the temperature drops, and Seville becomes something else entirely. Back in Triana, the streets come alive, lights reflect on the river, music fills the air, people gather, not because they have to, but because they want to.
This is my favorite version of the city.
Mine too, because this is where it feels most natural. And then you hear it, a guitar, flamenco, not staged, not performed, just real. Sitting by the river at night, you start to understand something. Seville isn't about rushing, it's about experiencing. Eventually, we head back to the ship, and there's always that moment where you realize you're leaving, but not finished.
We're definitely coming back tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right, let's see if you were paying attention. Seville became one of the richest cities in the world during the 16th century because of its river access. But what made this possible? A. It was the only Spanish city allowed to trade with the Americas. B. It had the largest shipbuilding industry in Europe. C. It controlled all Mediterranean trade routes. D. It was the capital of Spain at the time. Drop your answer in the comments with #QuizzesWithFlair to stand a chance to win a voucher. And don't forget to share this with a friend. The lights of Seville are fading behind us, the river is quiet again, and the journey continues. But tomorrow, we go deeper, because curiosity never stops.
We have a winner, and I am not being chill about it. Someone just took that leaderboard apart like it was light practice. Moves were intentional. Timing was locked. Confidence, unbothered. Big congrats to our champion. You absolutely showed out. Your notification is about to land quicker than a live patch update. Keep an eye on your comments. We'll grab your details and get that prize moving your way. Smooth process, zero chaos. Didn't see your name this round? Don't switch tabs on us. This isn't a one-off highlight. It's an ongoing storyline, and the next chapter is about to drop. Fresh reset, clean board, new energy, so power up those fingers, because the next spotlight, it might land right on you. No hesitation, no slow reactions, no watching from the sidelines. Stay bold, stay sharp, stay locked in. Let's see who takes it next.